Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kim and this is Expedition 3 Pages. So today is going to be my Whateverthon TBR. Whateverthon is a readathon which is run by Maddie from Book Browsing Blog. And this is well, I'm not sure which round it is, but I think it started last year and this is the first time I'm participating. And I'm pretty excited about it because it's a very kind of chilled readathon. It's called Whateverthon. Basically, do whatever you want with it. Kind of. I will of course link down to Maddie's announcement video down in the description if you wanted to go and take a look at all the details and everything like that. Here I'm just going to go through what's on my particular TBR for my team. And yeah, so let's get on with it. Okay, so I'm going to be Team Sunset Scholars. Very excited about this. The main prompt on the bingo board for Sunset Scholars that drew me in was dragons. And yet that is one of the prompts that I'm not sure if I've fulfilled or not. I have to kind of wait until I've read the book until I know it has fulfilled it or not. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I have actually pledged to read 6 books for the readathon. So you basically have to just pledge a number that you think is kind of a bit of a challenge for you to get to within the month. And I chose 6 because I think my average, or I've been reading around 4 books per month. This month so far I've actually read 5 and I may finish 6, but I think that's just because I've been wrapping up a lot of the books. So it's not like I've read 6 full books, which is what I'm going to be trying to do in June. Probably not realistic at all, but it's definitely a challenge, so that was the point. I've decided to put this TBR up for this readathon before my Tales from Two Trails video goes up. I actually haven't filmed it. I believe there is still time if you guys want to put a book towards Tales from Two Trails. I'll put the date up here because I can't quite remember the deadline for adding a book. But yeah, I need to wait until that deadline has passed before I can film the video. So I thought I'd do this now, work out the books that I would ideally like to read for this readathon, and then just see how many I can try and fit into my game to make it actually work. So this is more like a bit of a tentative TBR because for the readathon there are different bingo boards for every team. Most of the prompts are the same, but there are slightly different prompts depending on what team you're on. And you can try and complete as many of the prompts as you can. So what I've done is I've worked out 6 books that will fit most of the prompts on that TBR board. Ironically, the one prompt that I forgot about when I was picking my books was academic. And it's, yeah, ironically because I'm on Team Sunset Scholars. So you would think that I would remember academic, but I didn't. I might try and read The Love Hypothesis because Amy from A-Star Reads just finished it and she really loved it. That is set in an academic kind of university PhD setting, I think, which I might like. I'm really struggling to find romances that I really like. So that could be a contender for that, just to try something a bit different in romance to see if I like it. But yeah, I'll work that out during the month. The rest of these books I tried to pick off just my already owned TBR. So I'll put the bingo board up here and let's just go through and let you know what I've decided to do. There are some prompts on here which are like join in with sprints, join in with the 48-hour readathon, stuff like that, which I'll obviously try and do during June. There is one that says complete a personal goal. And I think my personal goal is going to be to start Couch to 5k. And not just to start it and do like one running session from it, but actually, what should I say? Aim to complete. I'm going to challenge myself to complete at least 9 runs from Couch to 5k. Couch to 5k, if you don't know, basically in the UK there's an app that the NHS run called Couch to 5k, which encourage you to run to 5k. So it's just something you put in your ear and then you're like walking and running to start with, and then eventually you're supposed to be able to just run continuously to 5k. I have never been able to run that far. And I actually do find running quite boring, but I do really want to do it. And so, yes, I will try and complete at least 9 runs from Couch to 5k in June so I can try and fulfill that square on the board. That's my personal challenge. Don't have high hopes for it, not gonna lie. Okay, but on to the books. The first book on the list is actually a reread, and I never ever do rereads, but I really want to try and reread this book because it was my favourite book of 2020. It fit quite a few of the prompts as well, so I thought it would be a good one to stick on. And that is The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. Absolutely love this book so much. The cover is so pretty. I absolutely love it. I actually designed my first TBR game on this kind of book. Not, it didn't look like the book cover, but I took elements from the book cover while I was designing the game because I just finished reading it and I absolutely loved it. That was TBR Trail. Oh, I meant to say as well that you can use up to 3 prompts for each book, and so I was able to find 6 books that filled most of the board apart from the academic prompt. So yeah, so the 3 prompts that I could use for this one would be S's on the cover, the style is C, and there's an S in Erin Morganson, and also The Night Circus, which I didn't like so much, but never mind. This is a book about books, so it fits that prompt too, and also shiny cover because the bee, the sword, and the key are all nice and shiny. And yeah, I really like this book, it's really pretty. One of the prompts was to pick a random colour, so I went on the random colour generator, and I'll put the screenshot here so you can see, but the colour that I got was pure red. I didn't know there was a colour called Pure Red, but there you go. And so a book with red on the cover that I do really want to read is the 3rd book in the Frostheart series by Jamie Littler. This is the last one in the trilogy, and I really enjoyed the 2nd one. It actually made me quite emotional in parts, and I actually enjoyed it a lot more than the 1st one, even though I did enjoy the 1st one as well. But I'm really, really eager to get to this one. You're basically following a little boy, Ash, as he's travelling across a very snowy, icy world on like a... It's not a ship, it's a sleigh, but it's like a ship. And it's kind of like found family and all that kind of stuff. And it's really lovely, but also quite sad in places. Also very red, so it fits that prompt. And shiny. There's a lot of shiny books here, actually, I'm not gonna lie. The other book prompt it fits is there's one that's like the, of, and those kind of joining words. And the actual title for the 3rd book is Rise of the World Eater. So of and the feature in that part of the title. So it works for that one. And this was a 2021 release as well, so it fits for that prompt too. Okay, next up we've got Fall's Quest by Robin Hobb, which is the 2nd book in the Fits and the Fall trilogy, which is the last trilogy in the realm of the Elderlings. And yeah, I'm going to be reading this in June. This is also a really shiny cover. I just love the books of this last trilogy and these designs. Absolutely stunning. I love it so much. But yeah, I'm going to be buddy reading this with my stepmom in June. So I'm so excited. It's going to be so good. This is the one that I'm tentatively using for dragons. We'll have to see. It also works for continuous series, and it also works for my favourite genre, which is fantasy. Absolutely love fantasy. So yeah. Next up is an audiobook, and it's going to be Elantris that I'm going to read. I already own this on audio, and I did start listening to it before, but not so much. I did like it though, it was intriguing. I couldn't tell you really what it was about now. I'd have to go back and listen to it again, so I'll let you know if I get to it in June. Elantris will be my first Brandon Sanderson book that I read. I was going to wait until I'd finished Hobb to start Brandon Sanderson, but then I was thinking, like maybe it will soften the blow when I get to the end of The Realm of the Elderlings, and I'm really sad that I have no more to read. So if I overlap, maybe I'll, be like, okay, because I've got Brandon Sanderson, if I like it. Elantris is one of Cody's picks as her favourite book. So Cody from Cody's Book Corner, she is one of the hosts for the Readathon, and Elantris was one of her host fave picks, and so that's the prompt, read a host fave, so it works for that. It's also a 1-word title, and it's in a different format to the rest of my books, so I'll be listening to it on audio, which isn't like any other books that I'll be reading in June, maybe. But yeah, it's different to the ones on this TBR. The 5th book is Cambodian Folk Stories from the Readalongs, and this is one of the books on my Cambodian TBR, which is still going, but it's ticking along. Yeah, so this works with the prompt on a previous TBR, which it was. It also works for under 300 pages, and it also actually works for recently hauled, because I don't know what happened. I did buy it before, and I think I bought it from somewhere where I've read some of their ebooks before. It was Hive, the website Hive, which I do like as a website alternative to Amazon, because they do give a little bit of a kickback to independent bookshops. But yeah, I've never really got on with their ebooks, and so I did buy this with them, and then I never actually ended up downloading it, so I don't know what the formatting was like in that one, but I didn't have a good experience with the ebook, so I actually while I was going and making this TBR, I bought it again on Kobo, which is an ebook app stroke store that I use, and I really like their ebooks, so yeah, I've just gone with that. I do like Hive though, I don't want to diss them, but yeah, I just prefer the ebooks from Kobo, so I bought it again. So that is technically recently hauled, even though I did buy it once before. I bought it again. And then last up, I actually used for the prompt poll. And these 3 books are currently on a poll on Instagram, which I think if I put this video up tonight, it should still be live. But if you want to vote just down in the comments which book you would like me to read from these 3, then please do, because actually on Instagram the poll is currently tied between 2 books. I'll accept them down in the comments as well. And I think what I'll do is when I get to the point where I have to pick up one of these books, then I'll just check back to the video then and then count up what the votes were. So yeah, all 3 of these books start with the letter T, because one of the prompts is last letter, first letter. So that means your next read has to start with the last letter of the previous book. And so I thought, well, no. What is wrong with me? I keep saying frost up. And so I thought because Fool's Quest ends with T and Frost Tart ends with T, although technically I suppose this book ends with R, but we won't worry about that. Frost Tart. And yeah, that's it. Well, yeah, I guess I got that wrong. Well, basically, when I finish Fool's Quest, then I'll be able to pick up one of these books because all these books start with T. They are also all books in like a less read genre, so a genre that I don't usually read. Although looking at it now, one of them is technically sci-fi, but I feel like it's a different sci-fi than what I usually read. And I mainly read fantasy, so I think it works. It works. The first book that I put on this list is The Tenant of Wildfell Hall by Anne Bronte. I don't actually know anything about this book, but it started with a T, Tenant, so I stuck that on the list. The second book that I picked is Their Eyes Were Watching God by Zora Neale Hurston. Again, I don't know too much about this, but I am eager to read this one. I don't want to sway you. I don't want to sway you guys. I take that back. I say nothing about this book. But this is the second one on the list. The third one is a Richard and Judy book club pick from way back when, probably. And it's The Time Traveller's Wife by Audrey. I actually have no clue how to say that name. I didn't look it up, so I'm not going to attempt it. I apologise. But yes, The Time Traveller's Wife. This is a series that just came out, which I am intrigued about. Although I don't know if it's got good reviews or not, but this has been on my shelf for ages. It's like a TBR vet. So yeah, one of these 3 books, if you would like to choose which one you would rather me read, that would be really helpful because then it would help me fulfill the poll pick. So yeah, that's my TBR for Whateverthon. I'd love to know if any of you guys are joining in with it as well and what team you're on. I'm going to try really hard to actually play this as a game. So because it doesn't really matter if I don't get to these books, the main goal of Whateverthon for me is to reach 6 books and complete 6 full books within the month. So that's really the goal. But I was really pleased that I found books that would actually work for most of the prompts anyway that I already owned. That was really good. And yeah, I'm going to try my hardest to add them onto Tales from Two Trails when I play it on Monday. So yeah, wish me luck. And I hope I don't end up with like 15 books on my TBR because that's very unrealistic. But yeah, what are you going to do? These are the physical books that I have that I may be reading for Whateverthon. And yeah, let me know if you've read any of these and if you like them. Or maybe don't tell me if you hated the Starless Sea because that might make me sad. No, you can tell me, that's fine. And yeah, let me know what your TBR is for Whateverthon as well. And let me know if you're my teammate or my rival. Alright guys, I'll see you later. Take care. Bye!